Welcome back, fact fans. It's Ask Google. We are back again. Today, the subject to Ask Google is the English Premier League. So, what I've done is I've gone onto the internet. I have used search engines. There goes a plane. How annoying. It'll be gone in a moment. Gone onto the internet to ask it a few questions about the Premier League. So, I asked, when did the Premier League start? So, the Premier League was formed on the 27th of May 1992, and it actually started, first games, was the 15th of August 1992. Which teams have always played in the Premier League? Bearing in mind, it is a promotion relegation type league, although no one gets promoted from the Premier League. So you have to get promoted to the Premier League or relegated from. Our franchise, if you want to call it that, is a bit different in soccer than it is in American sports. So which teams have always been there? Well, there have been 6 teams which have always been in the Premier League: Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, Manchester United, and Tottenham Hotspurs. So they've been there for every game. Most Premier League titles won, that is by Manchester United, who have won 13. They are also the all-time English league champions of the most times with 20. Liverpool just behind them on 19. Most games played in the Premier League, that is Gareth Barry. He has the most Premier League appearances with 653. James Milner is the only active Premier League player to have played over 500 games. How many teams have played in the English Premier League? Well, with Brentford getting promoted this season, that's a new team, along with Norwich and Watford, that they become the 50th team to ever play in the Premier League. How many stadiums, I hear you say? Well, 60 stadiums have been used for Premier League games, including Wembley Stadium, which we'll come on to a bit later. Quite a few teams have had a new stadium in that time. Most wins in the Premier League, well, not surprisingly, that would be Manchester United. They have won the most matches in the Premier League, winning 688. The most losses, that'll be for West Ham, 394, and the most draws is 314 by Everton. Promoted and relegated the most times. 6 teams have been promoted to the Premier League 4 times, which is a current record. They are Middlesbrough, Leicester, Norwich, Sunderland, West Brom, and Crystal Palace. Relegated 5 times. The record belongs to Norwich. Norwich is because they were one of the founding teams in the Premier League. Best worst points in a season. Best point was a mighty ton, 100 points. For Manchester City in the 2017-2018 season. Worst was Derby. They just got a measly 11 points in the 2007-2008 season. The biggest ever attendance, that was for Tottenham versus Arsenal on the 10th of February 2018. It was a Premier League record at the current Wembley Stadium. So going back there to what I said, that was 83,222. Highest scoring match, that was set back on the 29th of September 2007 when Portsmouth played Reading in a 7-4 win. Quickest hat-trick, fastest goal in Premier League history was scored in 7.69 seconds by Shane Long for Southampton against Watford in the 2018-2019 season. The fastest hat-trick was on the 16th of May 2015 when Sadio Mane scored a hat-trick in the Premier League history in Southampton's game against Aston Villa. It was announcing him on as a coming force in the English game. He scored in under 3 minutes. So a few Premier League records: most league goals in a season. When there were 42 games in a season, it was 34 goals for Andy Cole and Alan Shearer. And when it was 38 games in the season. It was 32 from Mo Salah. Most Premier League goals goes to Alan Shearer with 26. Most goals in a game. 5 players have 5 goals in a game. Sergio Aguero against Newcastle, playing for Man City on the 23rd of October 2005 at the Etihad Stadium in a 6-1 win. Newcastle actually took the lead. Dmitry Berbatov against Blackburn Rovers, which took place at Old Trafford on the 27th of November 2010. United went on a rampage and ended up scoring 7 goals in a 7-1 win over the hapless visitors. Berbatov scored 5, while Nani and Ji-Sung Park scored 1 apiece. Jermaine Defoe scored in a 9-1 win against Wigan at White Hart Lane on the 22nd of November 2009 for Spurs. Alan Shearer on the 19th of September 1999 for Newcastle in an 8-0 home win against Sheffield Wednesday. And the first player to do it was Andy Cole on the 4th of March 1995 when United faced Ipswich at Old Trafford. And I said he's already become the first player. So Premier League goals at one club is Wayne Rooney, 183 for Manchester United. Most goals scored by a substitute in a game is 4. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for Manchester United against Nottingham Forest on the 6th of February 1999. Didn't get the score for that one. Most consecutive Premier League matches scored in is 11 for Jamie Vardy. First Premier League goal was scored by Brian Deane for Sheffield United against Manchester United on the 15th of August 1992. Fastest Premier League goal was 10 seconds for Ledley King for Tottenham Hotspurs against Bradford on the 9th of December 2000. Youngest ever goal scorer, James Vaughan, 16 years and 270 days for Everton against Crystal Palace on the 10th of April 2005. Oldest scorer, the mighty Teddy Sheringham, 40 years, 268 days for West Ham against Portsmouth on the 26th of December 2006. Then we have the longest distance goal. So on the 2nd of November 2013, Begovic scored after 13 seconds against Southampton at a distance of 97.5 yards. After a long kick downfield deceived Arthur Boric. This goal against him earned a place in the 2015 Guinness World Records for the longest goal scored in football. I have to say, though, that goal was mightily assisted by the wind. There was a massive wind behind him, which helped. Longest time without conceding a goal in an English Premier League. The record belongs to the Dutch legend Edwin van der Sar, who kept 11 consecutive clean sheets, totaling 1,311 minutes of action between November the 15th and January the 27th of the 2008-2009 English Premier League season. At international level, it is the immortal Italian Dino Zoff who has that. Most consecutive appearances. The most consecutive appearances in the Premier League for any player was set by American Brad Friedel, who played 310 straight games from the 2004 to 2012. Most consecutive games scoring is 55 for Arsenal between the 19th of May 2001 and November the 30th 2002, stopped by a 1-0 win by Manchester United. Fun fact for you to finish, 30 players have scored 100 plus goals in the Premier League. 9 were not from the UK. This has been Ask Google, the Premier League edition. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found out some facts that you maybe didn't know. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, subscribe, become a fact fan like yours truly, your man in the shed, Andy P. See ya, pals.